Chiefs Kingdom, welcome into a brand new episode of the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. My name is Jackson Durham, and unfortunately, we are here to break down the Chiefs' 20-10 loss to the Houston Texans, which drops them to 6-7, a second straight loss on the year, and their fourth loss in their last 5 games. Absolutely brutal. Talked about this a lot coming into this week, but losing in this one puts you on the brink. Playoff hopes are absolutely on the brink now, guys. I hate to admit it. I think the broadcast had us at 16%. The New York Times playoff machine, which I use, has us at 11% after this loss. Just not looking good. We're going to get into that a lot more tomorrow in our Monday overreaction. But today, we're going to focus on the game. We're going to talk about the reasons why we lost, and we're going to get into some injury news first. I want you guys to let me know in the comments, though, before we get into this game. I want you to grade the Chiefs' performance in this game. And you can be a harsh grader in this one, especially on offense. I know the defense was really good. So maybe that brings the grade up for you. I'm going C-, I think. Defense really carried it. If I was just grading them, I would probably give them a B+. Couple long third downs that they allowed, but outside of that, I feel like they came up in the clutch. But the offense was not good tonight. Outside of a few big plays, just absolutely not good tonight. Let's get into the injury news first, though, while you guys grade the Chiefs in the comments. First up, Wanya Morris. Obviously, he left on the very first play of this game with a knee injury, and we don't yet have further details on that knee injury. He was ruled out pretty quickly. It didn't look good. It was a pretty gruesome injury. I did a short on it pretty quickly after. Another reason why you guys should hit that subscribe button, join the real ones here at the Chiefs Kingdom if you're not already, because we get the shorts out a lot faster than we get the VODs out, and you'll have the latest Chiefs news much faster. But we had that video out, and unfortunately, we just don't have a ton of details on that injury at this point, but we do know he's set for further examination tomorrow. That was pretty much all Andy Reid had to say on it. I assume that further examination means an MRI. I don't 100% quote me on that, but that's probably what we're looking at, just given the nature of that injury. Focusing on Trent McDuffie, we did get a little bit more details. That's a hyperextended left knee. I'm hoping we'll have more details on exactly what the timeline on the hyperextended left knee will look like going forward. I am not a doctor. I am not a personal trainer. I am not going to attempt to speculate on what the timeline for a hyperextended left knee is or read you guys Google results on what the hyperextended left knee timeline might be. I think we'll just wait. We'll hear tomorrow. I'll have that injury news for you guys tomorrow on exactly what McDuffie's timeline is. Hopefully we get a little bit more details there, but that is what Andy Reid had to say about those two injury situations. So basically nothing on Wanya Morris. Just to back up a little bit, he's going to get an MRI tomorrow, and Trent McDuffie does have a hyperextended left knee. I'll assume there'll be more examination of that to determine exactly what the timeline will look like. But I also think that's probably week to week. He was moving pretty well on the sidelines before they ultimately ruled him out. Let's get into the reasons why we lost this game. 2 reasons, in my opinion. Number one, the offensive execution was, in no other words, absolutely horrible. It was horrible tonight. Just not good at all. 6 drops tonight on this game. Patrick Mahomes' second career game with 3 interceptions. One of those drops resulted in interception. We had another tipped pass that resulted in interception. I think when you look at the picks on the night, you could probably argue 2 of the 3 of them aren't really on Patrick Mahomes. Maybe 1 of the 3 of them isn't really on Patrick Mahomes, if you really want to be harsh. But Mahomes was not anywhere near good enough in this game. Travis Kelce, not anywhere near good enough in this game. 5 targets for Kelce, just 1 catch. He turns that into 8 yards. And yeah, he had the drop that turned into a pick. 2 back-to-back drops on the final drive from Travis Kelce. Disappointing. Someone I've been a big advocate for. I've been pushing the narrative that Kelce isn't washed. I still don't think he's really washed. I think this was the worst game we've seen from him in a very long time. But this season, we have seen this guy perform at a high level, but he could not have been further from that guy tonight. This was an absolute disaster for Travis Kelce. Not a great game for Rashee Rice either. He gets 8 targets in this one. He comes down with 4 of them for 34 yards. Had a critical drop on 4th down as well. Could have moved the chains on that one. Doesn't end up happening. I think when you look at everything in this one, when you look at the missed passes from Patrick Mahomes, when you look at the failure to convert on the 4th down opportunities, when you look at the drops from Travis Kelce, one of which turned into a pick, it all tells the same story. It's all saying the same thing in different ways with different examples. We come up short in the biggest moments. It's been the story of the entire season for Kansas City. This team is 1-6 in one-score games. 1-6. It did basically 1-7. This one was also almost a one-score game. They kick a meaningless field goal with 30 seconds on the clock. Basically 1-7 in one-score games. Time and time again, when it's right there for Kansas City, they can't take it. They just can't. They don't execute in the biggest moments. The execution, horrific again tonight. It's just disappointing. Really, really, really disappointing. But you guys know what is not disappointing? What is absolutely, absolutely never going to let you down the way the Kansas City Chiefs did tonight? The quality at Omaha Steaks. You guys know I love Omaha Steaks. They're the best in the industry. Tonight we actually had Omaha Steaks while we were watching the game. We cooked up some of the juicy burgers. But whether me and my fiance or me and my family, when they come in town for the holidays, are going with the steaks, the juicy burgers, or the jumbo style franks, we know it is going to be great 100% of the time because Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. And right now is the perfect time to save on delicious gifts and holiday hosting favorites. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. And like I said, perfect time to save, guys, because I've got an exclusive deal just for our Chiefs Report viewers. The Kingdom is going to get an extra $35 off with promo code Chiefs at checkout. So save big on unforgettable gifts with Omaha Steaks by visiting omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code Chiefs at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code Chiefs at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. The link will be in the description and the pinned comment. Go check out Omaha Steaks. And if you do so, I always tell you guys, please use the code Chiefs. It'll save you some money. It really helps out the show. Win-win situation. Big shout out to Omaha. Let's get into reason number 2. Why we blew this one. Usually I give you guys 3 reasons, but honestly, I really just think this came down to poor offensive execution. And so reason number 2 is bad play calling. Because while execution was bad, we were also running out bad things for the offense to execute more often than we were not. Way too many runs from shotgun. I am so freaking tired of the delayed handoffs to Isaiah Pacheco. They don't work. Cut it out. Remove them from the offense. I never want to see it again. I never want to see a delayed handoff to Isaiah Pacheco again. It doesn't work. All right, let's run. And this is something I said in my preview. If you watch the preview this week, which you always should watch our previews, Kareem Hunt under center running is something that we do so well. It is something that this team thrives on. His execution in short yardage area or short area situations, I just got 2 dings from Slack. I don't know if you guys heard those. His execution in short area situations has been unbelievable this year. Unbelievable. And we just go away from him time and time again in these moments. 4th and 1, you know what we do? We go empty and we pass. Okay. Doesn't work, fails, or whatever. I'm fine that we went for it on 4th down. But if you are going to pass, let's just say you're fine with passing. Okay, cool. Let's think about the best passes that we had tonight. I want you to rewind in your head, go back to some of the deep shots that we hit tonight, which we did hit a couple really good throwing plays tonight. What was consistent about all of those? We had extra blockers in the backfield. We kept in a tight end. We had an extra offensive lineman on the field, or we held in a running back to assist Patrick Mahomes in the backfield to assist the injured offensive line. You know what we didn't do on either of those 4th down passes? Yeah, that. Empty backfield for Patrick Mahomes. But why? Why? What on earth are we thinking? Like, it baffles me that you can know that this is the thing that works, right? Like, it's right in front of you. You're clearly executing something that's been successful over and over again in the middle portion of this game. We had some great plays from the offense when they just were never consistent enough, but there were a couple really good deep shots that we hit, and every single time, extra blockers in the backfield, 2 biggest passing plays of the game, one of which should never have been a pass, but okay, let's make it a pass. Let's keep an extra blocker in the backfield, but screw it. No, let's not do that. What are we doing? I mean, I shouldn't even have to make this argument to you because we should have just fucking run the ball with Kareem Hunt. But if we're going to pass, then I've got to make the argument that we've got to keep an extra blocker in against one of the better defensive lines in the entire NFL. Buy Mahomes a little bit more time. And maybe that doesn't change the drop, but maybe it's a better ball. I don't know. Frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Frustrating game in general. Let's talk winners and losers. We got one winner and we got one loser from this one. One person, I know, coming out of this game, you may be like, who's a winner from this one? Actually, we're going to have 2 winners. I'm going to add a winner real quick. One, the entire defense. Just the entire defense is a winner, especially Chris Jones. Number 95 was a stud in this game. Just a game record. Just a game record in this one. His best performance of the season. I'm sad that it got wasted. I'm sad that it's going to go to the wayside. But I'm excited to look at the PFF numbers on it tomorrow because, man, he was generating pressure. Man, he was getting after CJ Stroud. Man, he was blowing up plays in the run game. It just stinks. It just stinks. It's a hell of a game, hell of an effort from him, especially coming off of a Thanksgiving game where he didn't play like that. Where I think a lot of fans questioned the effort level. And there's other opportunities to question that as well. Think back to the Jacksonville game. I absolutely ripped Chris Jones for his effort on the Trevor Lawrence play. Tonight, I feel like he answered the call from Chiefs Kingdom. He answered the call, and he just didn't get the backup he needed from the offense to get this win in a gotta-have-it game. But he showed up. So, number 1, the entire defense. Number 2, especially Chris Jones. And number 3 winner, we're actually going to have 3 winners. I've gone from 1 winner to 3 winners here. That was pretty fast. Esapol. Esapol, who I incorrectly called Isapol. My bad. Sorry, man. Esapol, earlier in a short, he steps in for Wanya Morris and plays phenomenal. Maybe phenomenal is an exaggeration, but this could have been a disaster. This guy's coming off the practice squad against Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. And he held his water, man. We allowed 2 sacks in the first half. Nothing after that. Pressure was not the problem tonight. Pressure's been a problem a lot this year. And you would have thought coming into this game, and I was really worried about this coming into this game. If you watch any of the previews, you know this, about how bad it might be for this offensive line protecting Patrick Mahomes against this Texans defense. We've seen them just destroy teams this year. We've seen them really get after some quarterbacks and make their day a living hell. And I really worried that would happen for Patrick Mahomes, and I think his day probably was a hell in other ways, but it wasn't because of relentless pressure. It wasn't because he was relentlessly getting hit, and a lot of that does come down to Esapol, and that's a hell of a game. Coming off the bench, coming off the P squad, very short notice. Obviously, first snap of the game, Wanya Morris goes down. Just want to give him a nod. A little shout out for that. Tough game for everybody else, and he stepped up. That's really all there is to it. The loser in this one, the biggest loser, in my opinion, Travis Kelce. It's got to be Kelce. It really cannot be anybody else. The final drive alone just kind of speaks for itself. And you guys know I'm a big fan of Kelce. You guys know I've advocated for him this season. But I wouldn't be fair if I didn't call him out for this game being a disaster performance. This is one that even if the rest of the season doesn't have playoff implications, I want to see him make up for this. Just can't go out like this, man. This cannot be the final taste you leave in Kansas City Chiefs fans' mouth. After such a great career, I want to see him have some sort of fantastic game down the stretch. He needs it because this cannot be the end. If this is the end of Kelce's career. I'm saying a lot there. We still don't know that he's going to call it quits, but a lot of speculation, and man, it's going to be a fun overreaction video tomorrow. I'll say that. It is going to be a fun overreaction video. If you like watching me suffer. All right, Chiefs fans, that's pretty much all there is to it in this one. You're going to see me tomorrow pretty bright and early for an overreaction video. Hopefully be a little bit less ranty, more structured than this one. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with us for our instant reactions, commiserating with me after a loss. I always appreciate it. Always appreciate you guys spending your time, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Let's go Chiefs.